Hi everybody, Coach McKee here. I just wanted to fill you in on our trip to Kansas City over the weekend to the Crossroads Classic tournament. Pretty interesting trip. You know, we had to go without our keeper, and that, you know, makes a huge difference if you don't have a full-time keeper with your team. But though the guys who did play in goal, Josh Burr and Eric Mendez and the Cougar, all really did just a great job for us and tried their hearts out. For that, I'm very grateful. Let's see, did I forget anybody else who played in goal? I can't think of it right now. Anyway, you know, of our 3 games, our first game was against a pretty weak opponent. And just like any time you put a team like this together, we spent quite a bit of time trying to find each other during the game. Didn't have a lot of cohesiveness, but did, you know, have a lot of chances. You know, I think Josh had a couple come off woodwork. We had a lot of very near misses. We were just really kind of unlucky in our finishing. And we were kind of fortunate against this team. They didn't really seem to be very organized defensively, so we got by with some of our bad habits, which didn't help us in the last 2 games. But our second game, it was against a much better opponent. We had a pretty good fight. Ended the first half 0-0, but we had a lack of focus early in the second and allowed several goals during that second half, and got one ourselves off a real good play. And one of the things that we have been trying to talk the boys into doing is moving the ball side to side, not trying to have the fight in the middle of the field where all the pressure is. And when we did move the ball, we looked really good. But we have a lot of players who, and you see this all the time in teams like the one we have here, where the players all of our players are very talented players. And when they're younger and advance beyond their team, they get by with a lot of bad habits. And so now we have quite a few. Actually, most of our players have bad habits because of their success as younger players. But now, as we get in the bigger, what I call man soccer, those bad habits turn into real detriments. So we're persuading the players slowly but surely that they have to pick up the man soccer habits. And some of those things are, you know, just not holding the ball. You know, in that world of soccer, you might get 2 touches. There's a lot of times you only get 1 touch, and if you take that 3rd touch, the ball is gone. So we're working to persuade them to move the ball side to side, and I'll tell you what, when we did that, we were very effective. We have 2 wing players who can really literally break a game wide open if we use them. And when we did use them, we were really successful. So overall, that game, you know, we got a few minutes of really nice soccer out of them. But some of the detriments where we were holding the ball too long were making the game way harder than it has to be because of that. And then toward the end of the game, we had some mental discipline issues, and had a player or 2 yelling at the ref, and which really, really upsets me. Anytime I hear one of my players yell at the ref, I yell back at them, and it's an unpleasant situation. But as parents, I hope that you won't yell at the ref either, because your opinion means absolutely nothing to the ref, and I can assure you, you aren't going to change his mind. If you feel a need to yell, go yell at somebody else's game, because I think that helps us more when you do that. Now, I know that yelling at the ref is part of our culture. It's not a good part of our culture, though, and I hope that all of you parents who are listening to this and all the fans of our team and our club refrain from yelling at the ref. Let the other team ruin their credibility with the ref. We don't need that. It doesn't help us. As a matter of fact, you can see study after study, and I've done my own watching. When we have a parent who's yelling at the ref, that player, their kid, their play goes down every time. And So you're actually, you think you're helping or whatever, getting something off your chest, but it's hurting your player, it's hurting the team when you yell at the ref. So I'm going to ask you not to do that. The final match was against Kansas Rush. Again, another very skillful team, really nice team. We were 0-0 at half with them also. Our distribution was much better, and like I told Coach Derry, my goal for that last match was to get about 7 or 8 more minutes of really good soccer out of our guys, and we did. And I'll tell you, Matt Post on the wing really broke things open for us. When we used him, he was in almost every time. And so that tells us against a very good team, we're able, when we play good soccer, we're able to get in and get scoring opportunities at will, really, very much at will. But the problem was, as the game went on and things got tough, we still reverted, many of the players reverted to their old way of playing. And but we did get 7 or 8 more good minutes of soccer. That was my goal for the game. And the players are starting to understand a little bit more of these advanced concepts. And as Coach Jerry said towards the end of the match, watching the guys play when they played well, we know now that we can play with these top teams. And really that's what the players were able to see. I thought that all of the players, especially in the toughest games that we played, thought that we could have won both of those games. And we just didn't have enough good minutes of soccer. And of course, you know, these are teams that have been together probably for years. So, you know, as any good team is going to experience, you know, 25 to 35% turnover every year, the players tend to get better in teams like that. So I think we're on good solid footing. Overall, here's what we're going to improve on here in the next week. We're going to work on possession. And like I said earlier, the way we're playing is making the game way harder than it has to be. And our goal should be to make the game hard for the other team, not for ourselves. And we just do that by support, possession, and taking care of the ball. And that'll come as we work on that more. We need to become more physical also. And almost every one of our players, we got a couple we weren't afraid to tangle up, but almost everybody else shies away from physical contact. And folks, soccer is a physical game, and sometimes it's even a collision game. And our players need to be willing to do that. And you know, at the level that we're trying to get, if we've got a player who refuses to get physical in a game, they're going to have to either change their mind or do something, because at this level it is a physical game, and that's what we're going to have to play. And then finally, we need to maintain our focus. You know, in both of the real good teams we played, we had good focus going in, and then we get out in the back or in the middle of the field where we're just making sloppy mental errors, and those aren't the mistakes that we're looking for players to try to make something happen. Those are mental errors, and we got to tighten that up. So pay close attention to your email. We're going to hopefully announce upcoming training. But one thing I want to tell all the players to do, you don't have to be at practice to practice. And I'm expecting every one of you guys to turn in some sort of running workout, because you're not fit, and you need to work on your own. Now, that's the difference between top-level athletes and mediocre athletes. The top-level ones will go train when they don't have to, or when training is not called. They're out there working to get themselves smarter, harder, better every single day, and that should be your expectation as well. So we'll be in touch. Thought we had a great weekend, count a lot of successes, and hopefully we'll see you very soon. Take care.